Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome one, welcome all. My apologies for the late start, but that was due to technical challenges. Again, welcome, welcome. If you're a new or returning listener, subscriber, welcome back, welcome back. If you're new to this channel, welcome, welcome. Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe community, our safe space where everyone feels a sense of belonging and where you feel valued. On that note, we do not disrespect anyone, we do not belittle anyone, we do not bash or defame anyone. Again, welcome one, welcome all. Right now, we're going to go to some music and then we'll get this conversation going. Hello and welcome. So it's time for St. James, and I need to big up Marva. Marva is in the chat. Guys, as you rock and come in, hit the like button, hit the subscription button. All right, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. Again, we're just here to share predictions. We're not a political platform. All right, and what we're doing, we're sharing with you the information and also encouraging you to go out and vote, vote, vote for your next MP, for your next government, for your next prime minister. That is definitely important. Avi, Are you ready for St. James? Hello, and how are you? It's St. James tonight, guys. Welcome or this morning, wherever you're tuned in from. Avi, are you ready?
I'm here and ready to get this one up and running. Montego Bay is all green now, so let's see what's happening as it relates to the predictions.
You mean St. James, or you're talking earlier about Shamsharp Square?
Sam Shropshire, Sam Shropshire.
Okay. Well, this is really not about Shamshark. I heard that in Mandeville it was orange too. So, guys, welcome one, welcome all. And we're going to get this one going. But we want you to hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and share, share, share. Tell a friend to tell another friend about the voices in education. I don't like the number of likes I am seeing. Close the X and hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscription button. We couldn't come on any earlier than now, and we're trying to come on a little bit earlier, and we're having so much challenges because both political parties were out and about, and we tried to see how best we can tune in. Last evening, was the debate as well, and so it just couldn't work out. But right now, we're going to give you St. James. All right, so are you ready? Type ready in the chat if you're ready for us to get this one going. Rock and come in, guys. Rock and come in. I want to see you in the chat. So let us see if we get a ready and if we get some likes too. Let us know where you're tuned in from or the constituency that you're associated with. All right. So let us know. We want to hear from you because it's not just our voice, it's voices, right? So we want to hear from you as well. Welcome, one, welcome all. We're so happy to have you here and we want to keep it very interactive. Thanks, KJ. Welcome. Thanks for hitting the like button. I don't know, you're not ready? I'm waiting for a ready in the chat for us to begin. Ovi, are you ready for this? And if you're new here, I can't sing, but I like to sing.
Yes,
Ovi, are you
yes,
ready?
yes, 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 yes. I am ready. Waiting
All
for
right,
that in the chat.
all right, but I don't know if they're ready. Let's see. I need one ready in the chat. Or should we just go? Let's go. I guess it's coming. I don't know. Let's see if the chat is working. One ready in the chat. One ready. All right, ready there. And let's go. All right. So, again, we're in St. James. All right. So, in the context of St. James, we have the following constituencies or seats, as you may know them to be: St. James Northwestern, St. James Central, St. James West Central, St. James East Central, and South St. James. All right, so that amounts to five constituencies, five member of parliaments or MPs. All right, represent St. James in the parliament. So just to let you know that. So again, welcome one, welcome all. We're so happy to have you guys here with us. All right. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So we're going to move on, and St. James East Central is the constituency, all right, that we are starting out with. So, in the context of St. James, you will notice here that I have here that Salt Spring was a part of this constituency in 2007. So, there were some, I guess, were some reconfigurations or, additions, subtractions of divisions, and they were placed in other constituency. I think there was a new one created. So, you will see that and we will definitely let you know. So we have, that there on the information that we're going to provide you so that you can follow along. So in 2007, St. James East Central, as you can see, oh, before we get there, As you can see here, St. James East Central at Springmount, Rosa, Somerton, as well as Salt Spring. All right, so just to let you know that. All right, so in the context of St. James East Central, the candidates are Rochelle Reed Knott of the People's National Party and Ed Bartlett of the Jamaica Labour Party. All right. So in the context of 2007, as I shared earlier, we had four electoral divisions. So Rosal, Somerton, Springmount, and Salt Spring. All right, so when we look at the results here for 2007, Ed Bartlett got all the electoral divisions. Donald Colmati of the PNP, they did well enough, I would say, in Somerton there. And right across the board, though, apart from that constituency, it was a good lead or a good gap, good enough gap for the JLP Ed Bartlett. And overall, Ed Bartlett got this one in 2007, 8398 votes. Ovi, I don't know if you have anything you'd like to add here.
Yeah, I just want to say that, Ed Bartlett really dominated all the electoral divisions in this one, and, is did really, really well. And we're just watching to see where the strongholds are. Rose Hall looks pretty strong, and also in Salt Spring. So we're gonna just watch those going forward. And just looking at the win, the amount of votes that he won by shows how dominant he was, 2,000 plus votes. So yes, looking forward to the trends.
All right, so obviously mentioned Salt Spring. Salt Spring was removed in 2011. So you mentioned that that was one of those, I guess, support system for the Jamaica Labour Party. That was removed and added elsewhere. So we'll meet Salt Spring in another constituency later on in this conversation or in this, conversation in this live. So now with that removal, for St. James East Central, we're left with just three electoral divisions. So Rosal, Somerton, and Springmount. All right. So if you notice here, the win was like over 8,000 votes. Here you can definitely understand why it would be less because Salt Spring, that was over 2,000 plus votes, was removed. All right. So when we look now, this gives us, I guess, a better picture in the context of Somerton because we recognize that in 2007, Somerton was pretty close and it's still close, but this time the PNP, they got Somerton and Ed Bartlett continued, I would say, dominance in Rosal and spring mode, but perhaps not as well, pretty similar to the last time. But the PNP worked up in Rosal and Somerton for sure. So the win was still with the JLP Ed Bartlett, and the PNP was very close this time with the removal of Salt Spring. That definitely showed in the results. Over to you, Ovi.
Yeah, the move of the removal of Salt Spring definitely hurt the JLP in the 2011 elections. However, it wasn't enough for them to lose the election. So that was good for the JLP in that sense. But I guess, as you mentioned, the PNP took over, gained some ground as it relates to Somerton as well. So it made the seat a whole lot more competitive because that's just over 100 in terms of, the win. So, taking away that dominance of over 2,000 votes for the JLP, and this seat has become more competitive with the restructuring.
All right, fantastic. And let me just go back here. And as you can see, it's a new candidate in 2011 for the PNP. So now moving to 2016, and when we look now at 2016, a new candidate for the PNP, Noel Donaldson. We now recognize that the PNP has lost, you want to say momentum, the gap has widened in 2016 in the context of the results. All right, they still have some support system in Somerton, but Ed Bartlett was able to retake that by, you could say, about 200 or a little under 200 votes. But overall, the JLP maintained their dominance in Rosal and now Springmount, and with the win 7-5-6-4. Ovi, over to you.
Yes, Ed Bartlett definitely solidifying himself in that constituency and taking back taking back the Somerton um, division there, and also maintaining and improving his stronghold in Rose Hall and also Springmount, and it's reflective in the final tally in terms of votes, and he's back over 2,000, and I would say that is a commanding victory for Ed Bartlett.
All right, so we're going to just continue now to 2020. And so, guys, if you're new here, we're looking at the election periods from 2007 to 2020. And if we need to consult with the local government election results, the 2024, we'll do that as well. And since from your feedback, guys, now we have started to show those results on screen. So for sure, welcome if you're just tuning in. These are just predictions. No one know for sure who is going to win. So we just want to make that clear. But we want to provide the platform to have dialogue, respectful conversations regarding, your views, because, that is important to us as well. So if you're PNP, JLP, no P, and you just want to contribute to the conversation respectfully, we welcome you and we welcome your interactions with us. All right, so in 2020, we see here Ed Bartlett again dominating. Now the PNP has really lost ground, I would say, in the constituency. New candidate as well, Michael Hemmings, and the numbers have trend. The numbers trended, down. They were very much lower. And so we see Ed Bartlett still in that 7,000 range. And so a win for the JLP again. Over to you, Avi.
Yeah, PNP keeps on changing their candidate there, and it's not working based on the results that are coming forward. Now we can see, total dominance the in all the divisions. All the divisions were won by over 1,000 votes. So that shows how dominant Mr. Bartlett was in his constituency, and the votes shows 4,000 plus in terms of the win for him, and that shows that he is definitely working well with the community and getting the voters out on his side.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for sharing there. And we move to the percentages in the context of 2020. Mr. Bartlett got 69.7% of the votes, and Mr. Hemmings got 30.3% of the votes. All right, so when we look at St. James East Central, who can vote? So, come the upcoming general elections, how many people are eligible to vote? Who can really vote in this constituency? What the information tells us is that 34,192 people in that constituency can vote. All right, so we're just going to go now. So who will win? So Rochelle and Ed. All right, we're going to open the WhatsApp line to take some phone calls. So just one or two quick calls in this segment, and we want to hear from you. All right, Donnet, welcome. Hopefully, you're still there in the chat. So, guys, if you have not yet hit the like button, and the subscription button. What are you waiting for? Please do that now. Now is the time to do that. So the WhatsApp number is pinned in the chat, and as always, we ask you to keep it real, clean, and respectful. We don't want to disconnect anyone, so we ask that when you call, share your views, let us know who is going to win and why. We're going to keep the calls under 2 minutes so that we can get to the other constituencies and do the same thing in terms of taking calls. All right, so Glendon, welcome. All right, 2024 result for what, Glendon? Let us know. I think you're referring to, we did not consult the local government for this one, if that's what you're asking about. All right, so now we want to hear from you. Who will win? All right, let us know in the chat or give us a call. The WhatsApp line is open. Give us a call, keep it real and respectful. And if you're calling us, please mute your YouTube feed so we do not get a feedback on this side. So, Ovi, who do you believe is going to call us now?
Well, I'm not sure who is going to call us, but what I can say, I didn't respond to Marva. Marva gave me a big shout out. So big up yourself, Marva. Really happy to have you here. And we noticed that you're being consistent. Don't think we don't
I did,
recognize
I
you. We
did, I did
appreciate.
shout out to Marva.
Yeah, I heard,
Perhaps
but I
you
didn't
did.
answer because she said
Oh,
host. So
okay.
I know you answered, but I didn't answer for sure. So I have to big up Marva for being here. Respect and manners. Well, one person just get on, call us, tell us what how things are in your neck of the woods. Tell us where you think the seat would go, and let us know. Let us just continue to go on. If you're here, guys. Make sure you close the chat, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and become a resident supporter here. We are accepting and we love to have new persons. Matter of fact, if you're new here, let us know in the chat so we can give you a rich voices in education. Welcome to this family. Tell me if you're getting any call on your side.
No, not yet, not yet, not yet. So I don't know, guys. Let us know who will win this one. We want to hear from you. Will it be Rochelle or will it be Ed? All right, we want to hear from you guys. So come on, and and Donna is sharing Mr. Bartlett all the way for 2025. All right, so we're getting one Mr. Bartlett there. Thanks for sharing, Donna. And we're getting that Ed will win for sure over on WhatsApp there. Thanks, Dave. Come on, guys. Let us know. Let us know who do you believe? And Marva is saying JLP is going to take this one. All right, one more prediction in the chat. And as Dave shared there in the WhatsApp is not so accessible at this time, guys. So it's easier to comment in the chat than WhatsApp. So Dave shared that seats like these need no predictions. All right. I think you should concentrate more on the swing seats. Ed will win. So, for sure. So, all right. So Glendon is saying PNP, Russell all the way. All right. Thanks for sharing there. And PNP all the way. All right. If you're ready for our prediction, just put reveal in the chat. Reveal in the chat, and we will reveal our prediction. Donnet, thanks for being here, Donnet. It's Donnet's first time here. Welcome, welcome. to the Voices in Education community. We're so, so happy to have you here and, ensure that you turn on that post notification so that you can continue to join us for elections and predictions and all the other programs that we have here. All right, so we've seen a reveal of it, so we're going to go to the reveal. Is that okay?
Just before you go to the reveal, I have to big up Donnet. Thank you for being here, Donnet. You have made this space a bit more special. So thank you. Stick and stay with us and just relax and enjoy.
All right, fantastic. So now to the review. So based on the information and our process, the predicted winner for this one is Edmund Bartlett of the JLP. All right, so we're predicting that Ed Bartlett is going to take St. James East Central. Please go out and vote, vote, vote. This prediction is by no way saying that we know the results of the general elections. All right, so it's just a prediction. All right, let's keep going. We're going over to St. James Northwestern. All right, so you would see here that back in 2007, all right, St. James Northwestern had Montego Bay South. So South Montego Bay was a division in this constituency. All right, so just to let you know that. And so at this point now, in 2007, we will be looking at five divisions. So Montego Bay West, Montego Bay Central, Mobay North, Mobay Northeast, and South. All right. So just for you to have some context in that. All right. So when we take a look at this constituency, the candidates are so Dr. Horace Chang of the Jamaica Labour Party and Alan Bernard of the People's National Party. So Mr. Alan Bernard of the People's National Party. All right, so again, as we mentioned in 2007, we're looking at five electoral divisions. And when we look at the results here, all right, the JLP got this win. It was a solid win, 7,482 votes, taking all the electoral divisions. Ovi, over to you.
Yes, a commanding win there for, Horace Chang. And, I normally like to look on the total number of votes, almost 2,000 votes clear of his competitor there. And he is definitely resonating with all the electoral divisions. And, that's pretty good. I think the Montego Bay North is a good division for us to keep an eye on in terms of the support that he gets there. That was a good difference in terms of votes he received versus what was given to the PNP candidate.
Yeah, but Montego Bay Central too would be, I think, significant there if we're looking at Montego Bay North. I don't know. I'm not doing a rough calculation at this point, but it looks like Central is also very, very significant. So about 600 plus votes.
I agree with you.
Okay, and then with the other one, I don't know. My maths in. I guess about the same. You could say 600 and plus votes. So those two seem to be pretty close there in terms of support system, if you'd like. Over to 2011, now Montego Bay South, Mobay South, as you people may call it, was removed, and we see a different picture, obviously, because that Mobe South was where that 705 votes came from, and so that was removed, and we're seeing 6,077 in the context of the win. And the PNP, we're looking, they lost some momentum, and similarly to the JLP in Montego Bay, Northeastern. And if we go back to 27 and look at, let me see here. No, we have so Montego Bay Northeastern. All right, the jail, right? We're right there. So losing some momentum there. Montego Bay Central, I guess somewhat similar, not too bad for the JLP, but and there was some improvement for the PNP. And then we look at Montego Bay North. This is where the PNP perhaps have improved significantly. If we go back here, so they have improved in Montego Bay North, and then Montego Bay West seemed to be a very small electoral division. Ovi, over to you.
Yes, I agree with you on the Montego Bay West in terms of the size of the division. But Mr. Chang really making sure that he has his bases covered, I would say. So taking all the electoral divisions again and a win of 1,000 plus. So a reasonable amount of win considering that there was some reconfiguration in the electoral divisions. And a trend that I'm seeing is that when the division or the constituency changes in terms of the divisions, there's always a closer amount of votes for both parties. So the gap, in other words, between both parties gets a little bit smaller.
Okay. Thanks for sharing that. So now we move to 2016, and 2016 we see a new candidate for the PNP, and we also see where the JLP increased their votes in the context of their win here in 2016, and again dominating, all the electoral divisions. Over to you.
Yes, and the consistency showing up here for the JLP. They have had Horace Chang in that seat for quite a while, and after the restructuring of the constituency, we can see that he has established his dominance once more, and that's a huge win of over 3,000, I would say, in terms of this one, or 2,000 plus. So it's another good performance for the JLP, and as you mentioned, the changing of the candidate for PNP is not working as they probably would hope in this constituency.
All right, fantastic. So now we move to 2020, and 2020 new candidate for the PNP. We have seen that, the votes went down for both parties, but even more so evident with the People's National Party. Again, Oris Chang took all the electoral divisions, coming out 6161 compared to 1969. That's a massive gap there. Ovi, over to you.
Total demolition from Horace Chang here. You know, winning by 4,000 plus is huge in an election, and he is
You mean
definitely
3,000
resonating.
plus?
4,000 plus because PNP is under 2,000.
My maths in good for you. Go ahead.
So yeah, total demolition, and that's the PNP with a new candidate again. So they're really struggling in this constituency, and they have lots of work to do.
Yeah, fantastic. That was definitely a big gap there. And so in the context of the percentages, Mr. Chang got 75.8% and Mr. Hamilton got 24.2% of the votes. All right, so in the context of Northwestern St. James, who can really vote? So who are the people registered and are on the voters list? So based on the information that we have. So just over 31,000. So 31,157 All right, that's the total number of people who can vote in this election. All right, this upcoming election. So now we go to the question, who will win this one? Let's see if we get a phone call or if it's just going to be the chat. But let us know, let us know. We want to hear from you. But guys, we are not seeing you hitting the like. We have over 100 people, and all I'm seeing is 5 likes. So I'm going to take it that my thing ain't working, and because the maths and me not working out tonight, maybe that's the situation. Ovi, I don't know. You seen any likes on your end? I'm just seeing 5.
Let me check. Let me check. Somebody put the number of likes you're seeing in the chat. Well, you're seeing three more than I am seeing because I'm just seeing two from my side. So, guys, if you're here and you like what we're doing, please hit the like. It helps our channel to grow. It helps us to, get a better algorithm on YouTube. So just help us to grow. And if you're here, just close the chat, hit the thumbs up button. We're going to do more predictions for the other parishes as well. So we'd appreciate if you stick and stay with us. And if you like, put your, subscribe, turn your post notification on. That will ensure that we can connect later on and, today. But show us some support, guys. Let us see if we can get, um, let's see, we must can get up to 25 likes. Let's put it at 25 likes before we're done with this one. So we have the reveal to do. So I'm asking 25 persons to close the chat, hit the like button, and let's go with this one. When you like, you give us that drive to continue on to say that yes, host, you're doing a good job. So please give us some encouragement. We'd really appreciate your acknowledgement of what we're doing.
All right. Yes, guys, you need to vote for us and you need to like and subscribe. That's how you vote. All right. In the chat, I am seeing Glendon is saying Alan all the way. And Glendon is saying, you see, I guess, seeing there 9 likes. I believe that's what the meaning of that 9 is. And T-Lock, welcome, welcome. Chang is winning this. All right. And Donnet is saying Ores all the way. All right. So, welcome, guys. You can give us a call, give us a call. Marva, tell them that it's okay to call if you're new, give us a call. Darn it, call us. You can call us, man. Would love to hear your voice on this side. Caught on camera, doing what? Welcome. Thanks for hitting that subscription button. Really appreciate you being here in the chat. All right, Don, I like it already. Glendan is telling us 20 likes. Thanks, Glendan, because sometimes we really don't see that or we get the wrong number. I don't know. Once we're live, it's just hard to see. So I don't know why. But yes, guys, we want you to hit the like button and let us just continue to grow stronger together. All right. And Donnet is saying very interesting topic. All right, so who is going to take this one? So far we have Alan. And we have Chang Chang. All right, so who else is going to comment in the chat there? Les, welcome. We keep it real and respectful, all right? All right, so if you're new here, we keep it real and respectful. Welcome, Valerie. Valerie is saying PNP. Just me, welcome. Big surprise is coming. And Tilak is saying, we'd love to see how the 2024 local elections are predicted. How they are predicted of this one. Sometimes we go there depending on we have a process and, we just follow a process. So sometimes we go there and, what we have done, we have listened to you because I remember, person was saying once we're going there, put it on screen so you guys can follow. So if it's too close to predict based on our process that we do here, because as we shared with you before and night after night, we don't come here with different voices. We come here with one voice. So if it is that, in the process that we're going through to make the predictions, we have, and again, people share different views. So we have a process in place. So once we come to the table and say, okay, this is my prediction, obviously this is my prediction, and if there is a difference, then we have a process in that we follow to make sure that, we make a prediction. But we're not coming here to say, oh, so and so said this was their prediction. I am saying, because at the end of the day, it's a prediction, and we're not going to tell you that. We'll tell you that it is close, very close, but we're still going to make a prediction. All right, so Cotton Camera Jamaica is saying Chang, Lance is saying Horace is going to take this, and Marva is saying I am in Mobay, and I am thinking that the PNP is more unified this 2025. All right, and Les is saying PNP will win. Winston, welcome. Well, Winston, if we're going to look at 2020 as an outlier, then it has to be straight across the board for everyone. All right? So it cannot be just for one side, and then when the other side does not win, it becomes, but we're looking at that. We're looking at several factors, all right? So not just, yeah, and we understand with COVID, but if you look to Winston at the data talks, and sometimes not all the seats for PNP, you're seeing a downward trend in terms of the numbers. Sometimes prior to 2020, the numbers have been trending down before the 2020. So we look at quite a lot. So the focus is not just on the 2020 election. All right. Again, as I said, we have a process, and I appreciate your view, sharing that. So, and again, this is nothing hard and fast to say, oh, this can't change. It's a prediction, just like how other people are predicting stuff. Nobody knows for sure. Davian is saying Chang will win. It's either 4-1 or 5-0 in favor of the JLP. All right. Marva is saying PNP. All right. And they're ready for the reveal over there. They didn't even make us ask. So Glendon and Don, they're ready for the reveal.
Yeah, for
Are
sure.
you?
Go ahead with the reveal.
All right.
They ask her, give it to them.
All right, there you go. So the predicted winner is Dr. Oris Chang of the JLP for this one. All right, so we're now going to move forward to St.
And
James.
just before you move, I just want all the persons who are listening in. We are working based on information that is privy to us, and we know that you guys have some persons have lived experience. If you're in the constituents, then you would know what is happening on the ground and better than we do. So we're just using
Give us a
information that
call, yeah, and give us a call. That's why we have this segment. Give us a call. And this is just our prediction, so we want to hear from you too, and we'll see how it goes. Honestly. And we're not even keeping tally. We're doing the parishes, and at the end, we're going to see all things because we're not tallying anything right now, guys. Honestly, because we're just busy getting the information, putting it together to come and present to you. I can tell you that we are all the way already in St. Catherine. St. Catherine is big, and we're just going through because we have limited time, and people were asking for us to give a prediction, and we said we would do it after nomination day. We have started it, so if you have missed the previous parishes, you can always check us out. All right, so we're going to move to St. James Central. All right, and so St. James Central came about in 2011. So, they moved some divisions, electoral divisions. So, this is based on the data that is there. It appears to be since 2011. All right, so welcome, Gavor. And Marva is saying surprise is the order of the day. All right, yes, Marva, we'll be here for it, and we'll come back with our screen and say check mark or X. Rang bang. All right. We're here for it. We'll be here election night as well, straight through until we can hear who is the winner. So if you want to be with us, and we'll have it very interactive where you can call as well. So St. James Central here, 3 electoral divisions. Mobe, okay, let's go back here. So we have Mobe South, so Montego Bay South, Montego Bay Southeast, and Salt Spring. So remember, I was showing that Salt Spring was removed. from one of those constituencies. All right, so here we are in St. James Central. So the candidates are Mr. Eroy Clark of the Jamaica Labour Party and Miss Janice Allen of the People's National Party. All right, so your two candidates. In the context of the results, again, this is since 2011 and what we have here. All right, so Eroy Clark, all right, took this constituency and sorry, Lloyd B. Simmet, my apologies, took this constituency very close, 5683, so it's little under of if my maths is mathsing, this is less than 100, right? About 98 votes. If my maths is maths, I don't know, 97, somewhere there, I don't know, but less than
about
a
that.
100. All right, less than 100 votes. So Mr. Smith won Mobe South. I can't. Sometimes hard for me to call it Montego Bay because I just used to the Mobe. Where they come from? Eh? All right, Mobe South. Lloyd B. Smith. So Mr. Smith won two. So Mobe South and Mobe South East, and the JLP got Salt Spring. All right, so that was the win there. Ovi, over to you. So a win for the JLP, Ovi. All right, we're not hearing from Ovi at this point, so we'll just continue. All right, so we'll move to 2016. So in the context of 2016, Mr. Clark, all right, got all the electoral divisions. So Mobile South, Mobile East, Southeast, and Salt Spring. All right, so when you look now, we recognize too that's the new candidate for the PNP. All right, Miss Foster. All right, and so again, we recognize that with the trend here, 5,600, you could almost 5,700 votes for the PNP. All right, they're now pretty much closer to 5,000 votes, as opposed to the JLP, who they are now closer to 7,000 votes. So 2016, a win there for the JLP. Ovi?
Yes, and Hillary doing well in this one, sweeping all the seats, and they did really well in Montego Bay Southeastern. That was a good seat for the JLP, and a decent performance, almost 2,000 votes, the amount he won by, and a good performance for Gilroy. Just I think this is the first time he
Leroy?
was, yeah, Leroy. This was the first time he was contesting the seat, I believe.
No, he
Just
did
on.
in 20, he did in
Oh,
2011.
okay, great. So he had a little bit of history there, and I guess you have to commend him. He worked himself up in that seat. So good work there.
All right, fantastic. And we'll just move to 2020. So, in the context of 2020, all right, we see independent candidate here. So again, too, guys, we were not able to access the official nominated list of candidates. So the focus is on the PNP and the JLP based on the information that we can access from both political parties in the context of their respective candidates. All right. So just so that you have that understanding. So now in 2020, so if you look in 2016, and if we go back to 2011 at 5, the PNP started to trend down. All right. So if you look at the trend, they are less than 5,000, but close enough. The JLP over 6,000. This is the COVID year that a lot of people is saying is an outlier, but the PNP continues to trend down. the JLP maintained, that over 6,000 mark, and they won this election. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, and it's 2020 for sure, but a dominant performance by Leroy Clark once more getting out the voters and pretty much doubling the Andre Hilton's support in most of the electoral divisions. But we have to look on it from a standpoint where Hilroy has been in there and been in that constituency and working for a few years. And Andre was entrusted with it this time, and he did not fear off so well. So a dominant performance by Hilroy Clark.
All right, so let's just go to the percentages. So in the context of 2020, Mr. Astor Black got 0.2% of the votes. Mr. Clark got 64% and Mr. Hilton got 36%. All right, so that's the situation. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Mr. Hilton is coming from one of those constituencies in St. Andrew, maybe, if I'm not mistaken. But you guys, you can let me know in the chat for sure. All right, so in the context of St. James Central, who can vote? So just over 32,000, so 32,520 people are eligible to vote in the upcoming general elections. All right, so now we want to hear from you. Who will win this one? All right, so now is the time to give us a call. We want to hear, and so far I'm seeing Leroy in the chat. Not Leroy, Eroy. I guess I first wanted to say Eroy. Eroy, all right. Miss Atiati, welcome. Welcome back. All right. And T-Lock is saying St. James had been trending towards JLP for many election cycles, and the local government results from 2024 supports for JLP, maybe one PMP. All right. All right. So Glendon is saying Janice. All right. Winston, I see your comment. So let me just let you know that I see your comment. Gavor is saying that the work of the PM and MPs will surprise us on the September 3rd. You're foreseeing 52 seats for JLP. All right. And And Tilak is saying what it shows is that the PNP election machinery is not consistent in the post-Patterson era. Era has been working, so I'll give this to the JLP. Shelly, welcome. And Shelly is saying, Eroy, I think I missed a call. Okay, I'm going to call back this caller. Look out for the call. Hi, caller, you're live. I don't know if you want to share your name, so I don't want to call you by your name. Talk to us.
Fabian.
Yes, I know. Talk to us.
Yeah, be right for this one.
Era for this
For sure.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I sent a message earlier. I said it's either 4-1 in favor of the JLP or 5-0 in St. James. That's what I'm picking up.
Okay. Okay.
And the PNP people, some people in the world, that it seems like as if in 2020 it's only comrades was afraid of the COVID. It seems like every Labourite went out and vote, and the comrades they were so scared, so they didn't go out and vote.
Well, when we look at the data, that is not always the case because, as I shared, sometimes the PNP numbers have been trending down. before the, like, we look at the
Exactly.
2016, and you might see that there was already a dip in the numbers before. And in some cases too, the PNP increased their voter turnout in some of the electoral divisions. So it's not really a thing that you can say is really reflective. I think what had happened is that that election caught them off guard when, with Rise and the one PNP, so they weren't really in a
Yes,
position to win. I
yeah,
think that is the I think that is from my perspective. I think that was the factor. So what the
that
JLP
is the
did,
factor.
the JLP capitalized on the fact that the PNP was broken at the time, and any politician is going to do that, because politics is like a game. You have to know when to play your cards, and you have to know when to play it correctly. So I feel that that was more of the devastation that the PNP suffered, as opposed to, the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic, right across the board, people were scared.
That's
Yes.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But they make it seems as if it's only PNP people were scared. Were
I
scared,
listen. I
and
listen.
that's not true.
I listen to everybody, and so, in that context, as I said, when we look at the numbers, sometimes, the numbers were already trending down, and, again, I think the big factor was the political miscalculation of some of the people on the PMP side that cost them that election in such a way. So
Okay.
I
I
think.
checked the voters list the other day. I was running through the voters list. I don't want to cut you off.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since 2002, shortly after Shani Robinson won the seat in North East Center, the JLP
We soon
base,
come up there, we soon come up a center.
yeah, the JLP base have been growing in Jamaica. You check the voters list, it's have not dipped below 400,000 people since that election.
As
Go
in,
and look on the voters list.
as I mean,
The,
in what way? You mean in terms of the people who have voted in
the
elections,
base, the
total?
JLP base, the JLP base, yes, total.
Okay, I would have to check that big number.
Yes, if you check 2007, the JLP get over 400,000 people. 2011, even though they lost that election, they got over 400,000. 2016, they got over 400,000. And in 2020, that's in the pandemic, that's the only time it went down a little. So you can see there's a trend going in favor of the JLP since then. I don't know what will happen in this election, but the JLP base have been growing ever since 2000, Shiny Robinson. And the PNP can be in a, what I must call it, delusional state and believe that Labour will just sit at home this time and don't go vote. If they want to believe that, then it's to their own peril. But
Yeah.
I am going down next week to vote. And a lot of us is going down.
Well, I'm
So
encouraging everybody to go and vote, because that is definitely important. PNP, JLP, everybody, all people who have never voted, go and vote, because if you don't vote, somebody is going to choose for you. It's as simple as that.
but I tell Comrade that the election for Comrade is on the 4th of September. For Labour it is on the 3rd.
All right, Dave. Call me back on the next one.
All right.
All right,
Take
blessings.
care.
Yeah, you too. Yes, Avi, I don't know if you have anything to share in the context of that call and that conversation before we
Just,
get
just
into the
want to,
chat.
just want to big up the caller for making us broke our doubts today. So thank you for calling in. So guys, the system is up and running. If you have your views, you can call in and share. Remember to hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and help us to continue to grow. We really appreciate having you here.
For sure. All right. So, just me there agreeing with Marva. All right. And Gavor is saying Mr. Hilton was beaten by favor. Yes, I think it was that constituency. Thanks, Gavor, for sharing. You see, guys, not all the time all the information will just flow. And so we are relying on you two as well. And Gavor saying, Colin know exactly what he's saying. All right, so is it time for reveal? All right, guys, you need to type reveal in the chat. So reveal, and we'll just reveal. Welcome, one, welcome all. If you're just tuning in, Voices in Education is a safe space where we share and learn from each other. We do that in a respectful way to ensure that we're maintaining our safe community, our safe space where everyone feels welcome and where you feel valued. So, on that note, we keep it real and respectful. We do not bash anyone, we do not defame or belittle anyone. All right, it doesn't matter. And Donette is saying, good talk, caller. All right, so waiting for the reveal in the chat. So as soon as that pops in, we'll definitely do the reveal on this side. And Glendon is asking for it, so we'll go there. So our predicted winner on this side is Eroy Clark. So we're predicting that Eroy, Mr. Clark, is going to take St. James Central. All right, so let's continue to St. James West Central. So, in the context of this constituency, Montego Bay Southeast, all right, so that was in there in 2007. Again, they have reconfigured some of these constituencies, so we just wanted to highlight that. So, what happens here is that we would have had, this looks like, four electoral divisions back in 2007. All right, so, and now we have, I guess, post 2007. So after 2007, we're going to be left with Spring Garden, Granville, and Mount Salem. All right, Salem. All right, so now in the context of the candidates, so from the People's National Party, we have Mr. Andre Horton, and from the Jamaica Labour Party, we have Miss Marlene Malahoo Fort. All right, so these are your candidates. Let's now go to the 2007 results. All right, just give me a second there, guys. I'm just switching over a little bit here. All right, so in the context of the results in 2007, we have Mr. Clive Mullins there of the JLP and Francis Tulla of the PNP, Mr. Tulla of the PNP. And so here, when we look at the numbers, so Montego Bay Southeast, all right, pretty close, but a little over 300 plus there for the JLP. Mount Salem, the PNP took that one, and you could say about 300 votes there-ish from my rough calculation. All right, and then Granville was for the PNP with almost 200 votes there. Spring Garden, all right, the JLP taking that one, and the JLP overall took the elections 7,752, but not too far away was the People's National Party. And you could say this is just they needed about 500 plus votes here to get close to the Jamaica Labour Party. All right, so Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, a close election, I would say. Clive Mullins and Francis Tolo, they were at it, and this one came down to about 500 votes there that was selected. And if when I looked on the electoral divisions, they were split down the middle, two each. So it's interesting to see how this particular seat goes over the next election.
All right, so when we go to 2011, so in 2011, Mobe Southeast was removed, and so Mobe Southeast would have been the JLP having at least 300 plus 300 high votes there in the context of the difference, and so that was removed. So now we have a new candidate, I believe, for the PNP, yes. And because that constituency was removed, we just have to work with what it is looking like in 2011. So when we go to 2016, we'll get a better picture of what numbers are trending up or down. So the PNP, they got this election, got this constituency, this election, the 2011. And when we go back to Mount Salem, you would recognize that the PNP improved their numbers in Mount Salem. When we look at Granville, they improved their numbers in Granville. And when we go to Spring Garden, where you would have had, the JLP in the 2000 plus and PMP below that, you recognize that the PMP improved their number, all right, getting over the 2000 mark in Spring Garden as well. So overall, the PMP took this one, 6,208 votes. So about, I guess, 600 difference, somewhere there-ish. Ovi, over to you.
Yes, a good win here for the PNP candidate, and as you said, they reclaimed a few of the electoral divisions, and it was not such a huge domination from it, because I'm looking at the difference in terms of the final votes, about 400 plus, and this seat continues to.
No, 600 plus, 673.
Okay, so fairly close. I would say none of the parties for the last two elections has, dominated, I would say.
All right, so on that note, we'll move to the 2016. All right, so 2016 gives us some picture of what is happening. So now we have a new candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party, and we have the same candidate for the People's National Party. So when we look at how the People's National Party performed in 2011, obviously they dip in the context of the numbers because they were over 6,000 votes and now they were just over 5,000 votes for the 2016 election. We recognize too that Mount Salem, that was very strong for them in 2011. In 2016, even though that they took Mount Salem, the JLP, came in very close. All right, so it was very, very close, as you can see with the numbers. And when it comes on to Granville, they pretty much, lost some ground in Granville for sure. And Spring Garden, they lost ground in Spring Garden because even though the JLP got Spring Garden in 2011, it was closer in the context of the PMP getting over 2,000 votes. Now the JLP is closer to 3,000 votes and the PMP is not yet at that 2,000 mark. So that is the results are reflective of the increase for the JLP in the electoral divisions and the numbers going down for the PNP. So the PNP ended with 5,374 in the context of votes compared to 6,635 for the JLP. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, and that's the amount of votes that they got overall. But I want to pick to zero in on Spring Garden, and Spring Garden, the JLP getting that one with over 1,000 votes. So that's where they really got way ahead of the PNP. And I guess candidate Malawi Fort did some good work in that in that electoral division. But PNP continues to hold on to Mount Salem which is, I guess, their strong point.
All right, so we'll move to 2020. So in 2020, it was a new candidate for the PNP. All right, Mr. Orton, and Mr. Orton is, the candidate, still the candidate for the 2025. Likewise, Malawi Fort, still the candidate for 2025. So we see here 4,415. All right, so again, the numbers continue to trend down. When we look to even with the JLP, their number trended down a bit, but they still maintain. Now they took back Mount Salem, so they took Mount Salem in this one, Granville, and still maintain that 1,000 plus in the context of Spring Garden. So if you're going to look at COVID, as some of you may say, in that context, both parties, would have lost some numbers there. But we recognize that from since the 2011 general elections for this constituency, the PNP was trending down. So they were at 6 plus, then 5 plus, then 4 plus. All right. So just to point that out. Ovi, over to you.
It's good that you have picked up a downward trend in terms of the total votes. But looking on each electoral division, you can see that Malawi Fort is building a reputation in her constituency, and the people are responding pretty well to her again. That Spring Garden is always doing well and ensuring that she takes this one, over 1,000 plus votes. The difference in Spring Garden and a stronghold there for the JLP.
All right. So on that note, in the context of percentages, all right, so Mrs. Malawu Fort got 58.3% of the votes, and Mr. Andre Orton got 41.7% of the votes. All right, in the context of St. James West Central, who can really vote? So, based on the information provided, it means that just over almost, you could say if we're rounding up, but we can't do that. So 31,637 people are eligible to vote, all right, in the upcoming general election. So, on that note, we want to hear from you. Who will win in the upcoming general elections? Garmel, welcome, 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 welcome. Davy and Asian exactly there, so I'm not too sure. Happy to have you here. And Donnet is saying, Marlene, all right, is going to take this one. Do you call her Marley? Is she affectionately called Marley? Gavor is saying, what we must understand also is that most of the Jamaica Labour Party candidates are going to be MPs for a very long time, and you're saying that Mrs. Malawu Fort will win with over 7K votes, all right? And Donnet is saying Marlene, of course, and Carmel is saying Fort is in trouble, all right? So let's see. The phone line is open. So, who is going to give us a quick call? You can also share in the chat. Let us know your views, as to who is going to take this one. All right. So, these candidates are not new to the constituency. So, we would love to hear from you. But, guys, what we really want to hear from you over here, is why you're not liking the live. Why you not liking the live? Ah, come on, hit the like button, hit the subscription button. To all the silent listeners, you're just there wondering what is this channel about, welcome, all right? We appreciate having you here, and we would love for you to, if you don't want to come in the chat, hit the like button and hit the subscription button so that you can continue to be a silent supporter. So you can get your post, you can get the notification. So turn on your post notification. All right. And, let's keep going. All right. So Shelly is saying Marlene, and Garmel is saying Marlene is in trouble. And Marva is asking for the reveal. Likewise, likewise, Donnet. Davian is saying exactly. Oh, the blaming of COVID. Okay. All right. So, Ovi, do you have any final comments before we go to the reveal? T-Lock is saying based on the local, the PNP has 135 votes advantage, but a lot more JLP support is out there than what's left for the PNP. Marlene will win. Marva is saying PNP all the way. Come on, people, hit the likes. Yes, we're all here together. I don't know. But I don't know why people don't hit the like button. But I know we're here for sure. Ovi, any comments before we go to the reveal for this one?
Yeah, I just want to know how many likes are they're seen on their side now because we should be at least 50 likes now,
I'm
guys.
seeing 24 on my side. That's the number I'm seeing. And we have over 100 plus, like 100 strong enough to get 100 likes. So guys, close the X at the top of the chat and hit the thumbs up button, all right? Hit the thumbs up button and let's go. Yes, guys. So I guess we should go to the reveal, right, Ovi?
Yeah, go ahead with the reveal.
All right, so we have predicted that Marlene Malahoo Fort, so Mrs. Marlene Malahoo Fort is going to take St. James West Central. All right, so that is our prediction. So Gavor, I don't know, like sometimes, so I was seeing 24, so I don't know, it happens with this live too. So we just can just ask you guys to hit the like button. We're not too sure. Even sometimes we're not able to see the chat. Yeah, so that's that for St. James West Central. Now we move to St. James Southern or South St. James, and in the context of this constituency or seat, we have the following electoral divisions. We have Cambridge, Welcome Hall, Maroon Town, and guys, you can help me with the pronunciation here. Is this Katadupa? You can let me know in the chat. Marva, I know you say you're from St. James, so let me know. Don't be afraid to correct me. That's how we learn. We learn from each other and we learn every day. All right. So I am open to learning. So I am here to learn from you. All right. We are in this together. All right. So in the context of the candidates for this constituency, we have Nikisha Burchell of the PNP and we have Oma Davis of the JLP. All right, so we'll just go through the numbers and then we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go. 2007, all right, in we had Noel Donaldson, and perhaps you would have seen Mr. Donaldson. He ran in some other constituency, perhaps on the PMP ticket. I don't remember, but yeah. So here and I think in St. James though, so would have perhaps seen his name already. So we have Noel Donaldson for the JLP and Mr. Derek Kelly for the PNP. All right, so Cambridge, very close here in 2007. The JLP got the edge, and this looks like what, 7 votes, the difference? Well, and you will see that with these divisions, they tend to be close, most of them. Welcome all here. We had the PNP taking this one. All right, then Maroon Tone, we had the JLP taking, but again, pretty close, as you can see. Katadupa, we had the PNP taking this one, and perhaps this would have been the one with the the highest in terms of separation gap, if my maths is maths. So overall here we see the JLP getting a total of 5,802, so pretty much 5,800 votes, and the PNP getting 6,051 votes. All right, so Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, a difference of about 149 votes. So
No,
pretty close.
249.
Yeah, my bad. 249 for sure. Yeah, so pretty close. Pretty close one here. Both the PNP and the JLP claiming two of the electoral divisions. So that's pretty much split down the middle. And it's interesting to see how this seat shapes up, to see if the PNP or the JLP will get more voters out in the 2011 elections.
All right, and I see you guys in the chat telling me Kata. All right, thanks, Gamil Kata. And Donnet is saying yes, that's right. So hopefully I'm getting it right. Thanks, guys. BM Frame, thanks for coming, but we keep it real and respectful, all right? So we don't bash or belittle anyone, and it doesn't matter if the PNP, JLP, or no P. We respect everyone, all right? So we are not that type of platform. We just keep it real and respectful, all right? So just want to let you know, but welcome to the chat and to the conversation. All right, so in 2011, Cambridge, all right, we see some distance there, all right, for the PNP in Cambridge. All right, and now we have Omar Davis. So Omar Davis is the current candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party. So we have Omar Davis, all right, so we see him there in 2011. All right, but Cambridge, the PNP had some distance there, so you could almost say that's about 307 votes ish. All right, in that context, welcome all. Was this looks like what 200 votes separating the two. Maroon Town, the JLP got that, but look at that, just like 20 votes, the difference there. Katadupa, no, the PNP took that, and perhaps that was significant for them in the context of their win with this constituency, 7,197 votes compared to 6,125 votes. So the PNP there taking this one again in 2011. Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, PNP doing well to claim three of the electoral divisions, and out of the four, which is important for them. As you said, Katadupa, the one that seemed to be the strongest out of all the three that they claimed. So doing well and separating themselves somewhat from from the JLP in this one. So about 1,000 plus votes
Yeah.
the win. So that's pretty decent, I would say. But let's see if they'll continue to have the voters turn out for them, or the JLP will find some way to respond in the 2016 elections.
All right. So, in the context of the 2016 elections, so if you're new here, welcome. We're just focusing on the two main political parties because we were not able to access the official nominated list of candidates. So we're using the information that is provided by the two main political parties in the context of these predictions. All right. So we don't know how to access like third party candidates or candidates, independent candidates. So we just have to use what we know and what we can access. All right, so in the context of 2016, now we see where the PNP they have lost some ground. All right, so we still have Omar Davis and we still had Derek Kelly here, but that gap of over 1,000 and I believe about 72 votes in the 2011 election was pretty much gone. All right, so when we look at the overall votes there, so 6,278 for the win compared to 6,216. That's like a difference of about 62 votes. So really, it has really the gap, that 1,000 and I believe 72 votes that was there in 2011 was no more. So the PNP, they lost a lot of feet, a lot of ground here in 2016. Omar Davis claimed the Cambridge division, and I believe too, and guys, from the information that we have gone through, is the counselor. Like he has been, I don't know, not obviously perhaps not in his reign as MP, but he was counselor for Cambridge. So I guess that is evident with that result there. And when we look, the PNP, they won Welcome All, Maroon Town, and Catadupa, but the JLP closed in on them. So now we're seeing just 62 votes, PMP trending down in 2016. All right, Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, this seems tight again in terms of the amount of votes for both parties. And it's pretty down the middle, I would say, almost equal the amount of votes. And it shows that both parties are, doing well, I would say, in the constituencies. Even though you have the PNP winning three out of the four not constituency, but electoral divisions, it is showing that the JLP is finding a way to get the voters out, and the PNP is not necessarily increasing their voter turnout. So that's pretty much what I observed.
All right, thanks. As Garmel is saying that there was a magisterial recount in 2016, but please note that these are official results from ECJ. All right, so these are what you can definitely access. All right, so thanks for sharing there in the chat, Garmel, and let's go to 2020. So 2020, new candidate, and the PNP lost all the electoral divisions and the JLP won. So the JLP, they lost some ground in Cambridge. So let me just check. Are they gained some ground in Cambridge? No, they gained in Cambridge. All right, and Welcome All, they gained a little there in Welcome All. Maroon Town is always pretty close. But they gained some ground there, albeit how close it was. And then Katadupa, they took that over from the PNP. So they won all the divisions and with a total of 7,245 votes compared to the PNP, almost a 2,000 gap here, almost, but not quite. And yes, Ovi, over to you.
Yes, the JLP taking this one, as you said, with almost 2,000 votes. And, they have worked themselves up and, was able to take control of all the electoral divisions. And, that's the trends continued from the last election where they could see the voter outturn coming, up and up. So it is a continuation, I would say, from the 2016 election, and that's why they are, the winners of this seat. Remember the last election, there was a 60, I think 64 or so difference in terms
About
of the vote.
62, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it's understandable. And if you go to the previous one, you'll see that they were coming up. So this one over 1,000, and they cut down into it to 60, and then they head to the win. So you can see that there was an upward trend in terms of the voters for the JLP.
All right. So In the context of the percentages, we have Mr. Davis getting 57.8% and Mr. Small 42.2%. So with this seat, we took a look at the 2024 local government election results as well. And in this context, we saw the results, the overall total, 4,934 for the PNP and 4,447 total for the JLP. So now, guys, this one was really a very tough one because when we look at the electoral divisions, there wasn't anything much in terms of separating them. One that we could predict to say would be a perhaps a clear one for the PNP was Katadupa, but the others, pretty close. So, and very very close in the context of the numbers, and even the total was, I mean, pretty close. And when you look at a local government election and a general election, then you know the difference in the context of turnout. Ovi, I don't know if you want to share anything on this one.
Well, I agree with what you're saying on this one, the local government election of 2024. But what I wanted, I didn't remember to mention was the fact that whenever the PNP changes the candidate, there
Yeah,
tend to be a drop in the amount of voters that turn out. So if you go to that one, and you it was Derek Kelly, and when it changed over to Mr. Small, there was that drop in terms of
yeah.
the amount of voters that turned out. So I'm not sure if the transition wasn't smooth or it's just that Mr. Small didn't connect with the people. But
So you're
yes,
thinking that the lack of consistency then is perhaps an issue that we have seen. Well, we have seen with quite a few.
yes, for sure.
Yeah, so this one is really, really a close one, guys. So this is the one we want everybody to call in and talk. St. James Southern, so South St. James, who can really vote in this constituency, and it's a big terrain, guys, as you can see from the map. 29,865 people are eligible to vote in this one. All right, so the big question is, who will win? Will it be Nikisha or will it be Oma? We want to hear from you guys. So now is the time to talk to us. Let us know who you believe is going to win this one. It was one of those ones too that we had to go in really a process and a process and a process. So we have a process that we go through for each one, but when it gets so tight, we have to go to a other process. So we have processes in place, guys. So yeah. So I don't know. The phone line is open. Give us a call, comment in the chat. So let me just go to the chat. Where did I leave off? Okay, T-Lock is saying PMP has lost ground in Katadupa division from a 585 advantage 2011 to 379 2024. The numbers are trending to support Davis winning, but it will be close. So Tila, who you say? Kawin was say close. Donnet is saying, no, this is my constituency, and I hope Mr. Davis will hold the seat. Donnet, give us a call now. We want to hear what going on South St. James. All right, Garmel is saying this is a close one, the largest one, or I guess in the context of the size for sure. And Gavor is saying this may be the closest battle for the JLP in St. James, but I think the work has been done to regain the seat. And Cotton Camera is saying Nikisha. All right, come on, guys. We want to hear from you. Call us, man. We want to hear from you. It doesn't matter if you're PNP, JLP, or no P. We're going to listen to you and talk to you and, give you your voice. We just want to keep it real and respectful. And if you're calling, mute your YouTube feed so we don't get a feedback over on this side. All right, so who is going to give us a call? We want to hear from you. And where should we go next? Clarendon, St. Anne, you're up. St. Catherine, you're up. All right. Glendon, yes, man, I see you with Paul Patmore. You missed the Trelawney one, but I guess perhaps you looked there already. All right. Nikisha easily. All right. Marva is saying Nikisha. And let us see here. My chat just disappeared, guys. I'm gonna try and get back in there. Okay, no new comments. I'm not seeing any new comments. So come on, Marva. Darn it, somebody from Mobile people are not calling me. You know me? Why the Mobile people are not calling us? Where are my Mobile people? Well, not necessarily Mobile, St. James people.
Not too sure why they aren't calling, but I guess it's a challenging one to select as well. It's a seat
It
that
was
has
very
been
challenging for us, for sure, yeah?
pretty close. So and that's the thing about it, guys. It's about going out and voting
Yeah.
because to see how close the seats are. Remember, we had what a 62 vote gaps one of the year, so it's kind of like that. It's a seat that yeah, I guess the person who is able to connect more with the people tend to claim. So it's going to be a ding dong with this one. So it's
All
it's
right,
it's
let's
hard.
take this caller. Hello, caller. Garmel, talk to us.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, hello, you're loud and clear.
Yeah, yeah, I'm all over the place.
That's all right. How are you?
Okay, I am good,
That's good. That's good.
but this one is very interested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be very very close.
Yeah.
Davis he was losing it until the prime minister stepped in and tried to help him.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happened in the parish council? Uh, there was 3-1. I believe for the JLP it was 3-1
Mm-hmm.
before 2024. So in 2024 it flipped.
In
It flipped to 3-1 for the PMP. Even after that 2020 uh, election where Davis he was a councillor,
yeah, for
and then
Cambridge
he
too.
was the
Mm-hmm.
and then he was the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he contested that seat twice against Derek Kelly, and he
Lost.
lost.
Mm-hmm. But it was closing in.
No, what really? Yeah, in 2016 it was close, and
Mm-hmm.
there was a magisterial recount in 2016, but he ended up no, Kelly ended up winning the
Yeah, with 62 votes.
state.
Yeah.
Yes, that era is a PMP era, but he actually break this well in 2016.
Mm.
I believe that
Yeah.
Derek Kelly have that seat from,
For a
I believe,
while.
the last jail seat to win that seat. I believe it was Malcolm Brown in the landslide election in 1980,
Okay.
and then the next election that the PMP did not contest. And then from that, it was the PMP until Omar Davis. But the thing is, the people they were getting frustrated with Derek Kelly. They were turning away from Derek Kelly, although it was a so-called PMP constituency. And then Davis he was there doing some work as a councillor. and then the people they were fed up with they were fed up with Derek Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't contest it because the people they did not want him anymore. So he have to step down, and then Smart. He was the principal of high school in the area,
Yeah.
but he never get the support from
From the hierarchy, or yeah.
yeah, he did not get the support from Derek Kelly. So it's like he was out there on his own.
And that seems to be true for a lot of the candidates on the PMP side. And I don't know if it's the big split at the top of the hierarchy that is trickling down to the constituency levels. Because when you look at even some of the promising young candidates like that I think would have won us, like they don't get the support. So I honestly don't understand, from that standpoint, and I don't know because they have some good candidates, but they just don't win.
So this Nikisha now,
Mm-hmm.
she's getting the support. And I believe if Small had stay on, it would have been an easy win for the PMP.
So you think, well, I saw that Mr. Golden visited that constituency. I think the Prime Minister went there recently too, but Mr. Golden was there before the Prime Minister, based on what I've seen. And, they were there. I don't know if I can judge it because the constituency is one that is spread over, different terrain. So I don't know if I
And
can
they did
judge anything from what I've seen from both sides.
the Prime Minister was there even recently. He was
Yeah,
in Gala, and I don't know if
yeah.
it was yesterday
Probably the
or
day
today.
before, one of those days.
Mhm.
So yeah, and I don't know if I can judge anything like any momentum from what I've seen from both sides because it just looked pretty close. It just looked pretty
So
close.
if the PMP turned out,
Mm-hmm.
it's goodbye Davis.
Okay.
If the PMP turned out and vote for PMP will win. Once they turn out.
Okay. Get you.
Mhm.
So who would you call it for now? Because I'm going to put you in the hot seat, because you see when we then at the hot seat, there are some people we have beat with, but so we are putting at the hot seat. Who will win this one? You have to call it. You have to call it, man. Yes, man. That's how we feel. You see, when me up in there, I go back and forth. I will just go on with myself.
You see, this one is gonna be very, very hard. You see, because what happened before with Derek Kelly and they turned off
The
the
voters.
people. If you notice that the PMP, the vote was actually declining, and the GP was gaining momentum because of that. So right now it's gonna be very, very tight. This one is gonna be a tight one. But
No, Gamel, I put in a hot seat, man. I saw we in a hot seat night after night after night. You see, no, but sometimes I will tell the people the better feeling. Sometimes that's how we come on late, because we are over, we have deal with things. And I say, come on, we can't go there. We have to make a decision. What is it gonna be? Come on.
you see, like I can call Essential the one for Harton, and Eli Clark and Chang for Ed Bartlett. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close for Ed Bartlett. But this one,
Mister, I put in a hot seat. Yes, man, that's how it go. Come on. You have to give the people them something tonight. Something. Come on, chat. Boost him up like Stubborn.
a lot of the people they are changed from PNP to JLP. So if if they don't switch again, then I believe.
Come on, we can only have
If
one winner because if we tie, we know the person that I go split the vote from ECJ. Come, we can I can only have one winner, one winner, one winner. Come on.
uh,
Yes, man, it hot man.
this is this is the only one I will not call.
No, Gabriel. We can't take that today. To say that, call this one. All right, Gabriel. We're
This
not gonna
this
pressure you no more. If we
this one is gonna be tight. If the thing is, if the voters turn out, if they turn out, PNP will win.
So
If they turn out, the
what
PNP
are
will
you
win.
saying? Who will win? All things considered, who will win?
Nikisha should.
All right, so that's your pick. That is it.
Yeah, Nikisha should. He should, but it's gonna be very very close.
All right. All right.
Mm.
Respect the decision and thanks for calling and sharing. So when we're there at the hot seat, people, you hot to know you hot.
No man, no man. This one. I know this one. I know this one. I know this one. This
Okay.
is actually my constituency.
Oh, and if you find it so difficult, you can imagine.
But it's my constituency. So I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough. But if they actually turn out,
Mm-hmm.
Nikisha should. The Davis is doing some work. He's doing some work. But
We hear you. We hear you on this
he's
one.
he's he's he's, he's doing some work. But the thing is, I'll find some he's a good man still, but I'll find some fault with him. But
Yeah, we leave that alone.
mm, mm, mm. But the
Mm.
people say he's actually he's working.
Well, if that's what the people say and that's how the people vote, then we'll see.
Okay, and then I believe when he lost I believe he had I think he did have some ministry. It was some portfolio or something.
Ooh, Oma?
I don't remember.
I
Yeah.
don't I don't remember. I don't remember. Maybe it would be working close with local government. I don't remember. That's the only place I would perhaps see him working close with
I
Desmond.
believe, and then after the loss, I believe the prime minister sent him back to his constituency. They were saying that the prime minister fired him or something like that. It was something like that going on.
I don't know about that, so I couldn't speak to it. Yeah.
You'll have to check it out.
All right.
Because there was some complacency. So it is the prime minister who actually step in now and is trying to help him. So they open up a police station like in 4 months. They take 4 months to build a police station.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Gabriel. We're gonna take another call because the phone line are ringing now. Okay, I guess stir up the people then.
Okay, okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Carl, I'll call you right back. But I want to big up Ken Roy McIntosh. Welcome and big up. Thanks for the super sticker there. And Ken Roy saying Davis will win. Really appreciate it, Ken Roy. Let us know if this is your first time here. Donnet is saying yes, it is a very big constituency. We the labor right. We are not backing down. All right. So let me just call back this caller. Um, Let me just do this. Caller, I am calling you right back. All right, so let me just get this caller on the phone.
Hello.
Hello, caller, you're live. Welcome.
Right. So, relative to St. James Southern,
Mm-hmm. Talk to
there
us.
it there is no there's no how do I put it? There is no question as to whether or not Homer Davis is going to retain that seat. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Anybody who understands politics, it's a science. One of the reasons why um, Homer Davis did not leave St. James, stood to the task as an MP, was because he felt that he could pull at some point in time the votes over to the side of the GLP.
JLP. Okay.
I am not counting the 2020. Reason being, because there were two things, two elements at play against, in fact, three elements at play against the PNP. One, the split in the party, Risers United versus one
One.
PNP,
Yeah, we said that earlier. Yeah.
right? The COVID-19 pandemic was also another huge factor. And the fact that there was a steady decline in the number of voters for the PNP during that time, or over a period of time. So that caused for um, a lot of those three elements that would have landed Omar Davis the seat in 2020. So here we are in 2024 to understand that local politics is not one that people participate in as much as they should.
Mm-hmm.
They don't take it serious. Right across the length and
Yeah,
breadth
that's
of
generally.
so,
Yeah.
yes, across the electoral demographic.
That's
Local
general. That's
politics,
true. Because I can't recall I have ever voted in a local government. That's true.
never. I've never done it either. You know what I mean? This 2020 election, why I said conclusively that this is going in the column of the Jamaica Labour Party is that there's something that any political party face this is up against a wall. You have to, you're basically against the ropes when the face of the party begins to migrate to your opinion. So talking about if there's a high voter turnout, the CNP really wins. That's no longer the case. In fact, if there's a higher voter turnout across the country, the Labour Party is going to win landslide. One, they have the momentum. Two, there's been a huge exodus of CNP supporters that have transferred their support to the JLC. And that's the reason why we're seeing the kind of numbers in what was considered safe and traditional PNP seats. Now, the reason I said David is going to win, it is clear. Ain't no way Omar Davis should have the kind of number across the constituency that we are in charge. That was traditionally PNP. With the momentum of the Labour Party. There's no way Davis is not going to win.
We didn't hear the last part so clearly.
I'm saying that there is no way
Mm-hmm.
with the momentum shift
Mm-hmm.
that Omar Davis could lose the elections in South Carolina.
Okay, so you're calling this one for Oma Davis.
Resoundingly.
Resoundingly. All right. I appreciate the call. Really appreciate the call. So you're aligned with that constituency?
I am aligned with Western St. Thomas, but I've also worked closely with St. James.
Okay. Okay. We soon reach out to St. Thomas.
All
So,
right.
so make
I'll be
sure,
there.
so make sure you subscribe, and we'll be there. I want to hear from you again. And welcome to Voices in Education.
Right, right. I'm trying to subscribe. I'm having some difficulty, but I'll work on it in the morning.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
So,
All right. Fantastic. All right. So this is where we give everyone a voice. So come on, let's see who is going to call us next. Ovi, we have heard from, now two callers in this context, and of course the chat is going. And we are looking here. Robert is saying Oma Davis was the mayor at one point, yes. And Donnet is saying fact caller. Marva is saying I was turned off by Kelia, but I am voting in this election and I am voting PNP. So, all right, so perhaps there was something with Mr. Kelia. Come on, guys, talk some more. This one, obviously, this one is keeping us here. Ovi, talk to us. We want to hear from you at this point. Guys, so Marva, I'm not sure why you're not getting through, but the number is at the top and it's the same number everyone is calling. So, and if I see a missed call, I would call you back. So, Carlos, I want to hear from you, Marva. Yes, Ovi, over to you.
Yeah, this seat seems to be the sweet seat in Montego Bay. So everybody's talking about this one. And I can't wait to hear from Marva. So Marva need to sort out the number and call in because it's good to hear from people on
Oh,
the ground.
yes, for
So
sure.
thank you guys for keeping the chat going and for calling in. And it would be good to have a female caller as well. So just to make sure the
Yeah,
balance is
Marva,
there.
darn it. Come on, man. Call. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Let's see for sure. And guys, do not leave without hitting the like button. Again, we cannot see the number there, but we are trusting that you'll do the do. That's how you vote for us here. Hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. After election, we'll be here. So we're going to scream, cry, jump, wave, say, yes, me did know her. Boy, me tell you, so that did wrong in and that in everything together. All right. So we'll be here for that. Um, Garmel is saying a lot of PNP switch because of Mr. Kelly. All right. So confirming there what Marva shared. All right, come on, guys, talk to us. Let us see. Is it time for revelation? Well, this one was a very tough one, as you can tell, for us. But we had to select. It's so long we have Gamel in the hot chair, so you guys can imagine our process on this side. It's hot, but we had to select a candidate. So we'll wait for the revelation there in the chat. And I don't know where we should go tomorrow, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. We're going to a parish though. Perhaps Saint Anne, Clarendon, one of those or two. But we're gonna get there. When we do Saint Catherine, it will just be Saint Catherine because Saint Catherine is huge. So that's a big one. All right. Tanika. Welcome, Tanika. So Tanika is a new subscriber. So TT, Tanika Thompson there. Welcome to the Voices in Education. We're so happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome. And this is a space for all of us. So we maintain this safe space so we don't do the disrespectful thing. We just keep it real and respectful where everyone can share their views. It doesn't matter what. We understand that there is so much richness in diversity. So, welcome to the Voices in Education. KM Jamaica, welcome. I'm from South St. James, and you're saying Mr. Davis cannot win because Nikisha has a big following. All right, so that's what KM Jamaica TV has shared there. All right, so come on, guys. Welcome, welcome. Are you ready for our prediction?
Wait,
Okay.
wait, wait a little bit. Let me welcome Tamika for being here. Thank you for subscribing. And you know what I noticed? The females are subscribing and the males are calling. Let's see if we can mix it up a little bit. But
All
welcome,
right. Welcome. Donnet is saying, good morning. I have to go. I have to reach work at 6 a.m. Should we go to the revelation so that Donnet can have this reveal? Come on, guys. Want somebody type reveal in the chat and let's go to our prediction. Happy to have you here, Donnet. So, all the best at work tomorrow. And we look forward to seeing you later in the evening and perhaps earlier tomorrow. We'll see how we can do things for sure. But today we had to be late because we were tuning into both sides, Mandeville and Sam Sharp Square, the S's. You're welcome, Tanika. Guys, somebody to type reveal in the chat and we'll reveal this prediction. Oh, this will be perhaps not a revelation. And if you're new here, I like to sing, but I can't sing. Come on, guys, let's see. One type reveal and we'll reveal. Welcome one, welcome all. So happy to have you guys. To all our silent supporters, listeners, we're happy to have you here. All right, so we've seen that reveal. Thank you, KJ. And this is our predicted winner. We're predicting that Oma Davis is going to take this one. And as you can see, the asterisk is there. And it is for us a close one, a very close one. So this one was pretty close. And we had to go to our second process. All right, so this did not even meet our first process. So you can just imagine how this one pretty close. So we're predicting Oma Davis to take this one. Marva is saying, I'm not too sure, Marva, but I see your comment there. Gahmel is saying dead eat. And my pick is 4-1 or 3-2 in favor for JLP. Thanks for sharing, Robert. All right, so yeah, so that's our prediction for South St. James. Yes, guys. So the big thing is these are only predictions. You have to turn out and vote. We just show you the numbers and we go through our process and we keep the interactions going here so that you have a safe space where you can share your views and it doesn't matter which party. We listen to you and we hear what you're saying. And we also seek your feedback on how we can improve our program, our presentation. And so, we try to do that. We put a lot of work and effort in this to, go through different documents and to get the information in a way that we can present it to you so that you can, see what we're talking about, because we feel that that is definitely important in this context, right? But we want to say to you that it's important to go out there and vote. That's your democratic right. So go out there and vote for your candidate of your choice. That is definitely important. Avi, over to you.
Yes, for sure, guys. Go out and get the voting done. And the truth is, I was just thinking about it just now. You can go out there and make our predictions wrong, in anywhere because you
That
have
is
the
so
power to
true.
vote. Yeah, but we are using whatever information is available to us. But the persons who can really affect this election is anyone that who is on the voters list. You go out and you vote for the candidate of your choice. And remember, it's always good if you share, which seats you're in, which constituency you're in, and what you're seeing in terms of your member of parliament, doing in your area to say yes. That's the reason why I'm voting for him. Just to get some reason. Are you just ask yourself this: is my MP working, or is my candidate someone who will work for me? So those are good questions to answer when and help you to make up your mind of who you want to vote for. So go out and vote.
Thank you so much, Ovi. And guys, you hear Ovi's sound. Ovi sick out, sick out. But we're still here and still doing this together. Hopefully, his voice will be back. So, Ovi, we're praying for your voice and praying that you'll feel better soon. So, guys, you can't leave and you don't hit the like button. All right, so we're coming down to gravy, as we would say. And definitely, I just want to thank everyone, for showing up in the chat, for sharing, for calling in. Kenroy for that super chat there or sticker. Welcome, welcome. Definitely looking forward to having another great conversation. This atmosphere, it's really nice to be here and engaging with you guys. The interactions are so good. And thank you all so much for your support and for making it voices in education. The word is love, people. So it doesn't matter, love each other. It doesn't matter which party your neighbor, family member is voting for, or your friend. At the end of the day, we just have to love each other. That is definitely important. All right. So let me just see. We're getting a call here. So let me just see if I can just call this call. I will just take this one last call, and then that will be that. So let's just take this caller. Not sure. It's not connecting, guys. So, caller, we're trying to connect back with you, but not connecting. Hello, caller. So, it did not go through. All right, let's just try the caller one more time. And it doesn't appear that we're able to connect with this caller. All right, so my apologies there. I'm not sure what's happening with the caller on their end, but for sure, we really appreciate the support here. T Lock is saying good night, looking forward to the next conversation. Definitely T Lock, and we look forward to having you here again. Davian is saying I sent you the work. Okay, that Crystal has done. Okay, in only 5 years as MP. Okay, Crystal, we're getting to center. We're getting up to centers. We're gonna look at what's going up in center in a bit. We started working on St. Anne, so I know Clarendon is ready, St. Catherine is almost ready, and St. Anne is almost ready too. So we're there. All right. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support, all the love, and let's show Ovi some love. Hit the like button, hit the subscription button, and let us just continue to grow stronger together. Blessings and love, everyone. Blessings and love. And remember to treat each other with love and respect. And remember, at the end of the day, this is Jamaica, land we love. We're all Jamaicans, home and abroad. That we need to just continue to represent the black, green, and gold. All right. So, blessings and love to everyone, and I'm just going to play some music and then we'll sign out of this one. Ensure that you hit the like button, the subscription button, and turn on your post notification, and we'll definitely see you in the next live. Bye for now, guys. I'm just going to go to some music.